Am I the asshole for telling my son that village you wanted doesn't exist since you burnt it to the ground? This is a bit complicated. I am a stepmom to 5 wonderful kids. I became their stepmom when the oldest was 9. I adopted all of them but one, and that is Nick. He never wanted me to be his mom, which is fine. The moment he turned 18, he made it very clear he doesn't care about me at all. I wasn't invited to his wedding, any holidays and so on if he was hosting. My last straw was when he told me that he will come to Christmas that I was hosting if I left. So we are very low contact. Along with that, he has blown up every sibling relationship. He has 2 girls now and he called me UP. This was a surprise and we started talking. After a while he started complaining about not getting help at all to raise his kids. He asked me to watch them on Sunday and step up as a grandparent. I told him the reason the village doesn't exist to raise his kids is due to him burning that village down. He called me a jerk and hung up. My husband is iffy on the situation but told me it's my call since I would be the one to watch the kids most of the time since he travels often for work. So I am posting here. Am I the asshole for telling my dad-in-law she wasn't invited due to her weight? We have done plenty of things that are not physically taxing with her, but even the small stuff, she ends up on a bench half the day. We went to a small mall, half the day on the bench. It was window shopping. She is obese, her ankles are swollen from her weight. The connection between her weight and not walking far without a break is very obvious. Post. I will try to keep this short. I have 3 girls and we still like to do girl trips for the day. My son got married to a girl named Beth. Now before her first kids she was average weight and after it go a lot worse. Her only kid is 8 years old at this point and she hasn't lost the weight. It's bad enough that she needs constant breaks walking. I used to like her and now I don't due to how she acts. Everywhere we go with her it is constant complaining that she is tired. The last girl's trip to the mall was spent sitting on a bench half the day since she needed constant break. If you try to leave she will go on about abandoning her. It's annoying. I invited the girls to go to a farm for pumpkin patch and pick some apples. It has big orchards and a ton of walking. We went, it was a great time and some pictures went on Facebook. I got a call from Beth asking why she wasn't invited. I lied saying it was just a family trip and she accused me of flying. I had enough and told her the truth. I told her she wasn't invited due her weight. That she forces us to stop all the time and it ruins the trips most days since we don't get to do half the stuff. She called me a jerk and hung up. I am getting texts from my son saying to apologize but the girls are on my side and are sick of having trips ruined since we have to wait for her all the time. Am I the asshole for audibly saying, bruh, when my sister announced she was pregnant again? Hello. I'm F16, a younger sister to Laurie, 26F. Me and Laurie have never been close since we had different dads. I was an affair baby. She's always resented me for ruining her family, but whatever. Laurie has 6 kids. Yes. 6. Twin boys Beck and Joe who are 7, planned. A girl Liliana who's 6, unplanned. Another girl, Angel who's 5, planned. Another boy, Keith who's 2, planned. And another baby boy Carl who's 9 months, not planned. Despite the fact that Laurie is incapable of taking care of these kids, 4 of them were actually planned. Because she knows my pushover mom will give her money and watch the kids. My mom even quit her job to do so, even turning her workroom into a nursery for Carl. We're pretty well off, but we can't do this forever. I try not to judge, and just ignore Laurie like she does me. Even though when my mom is busy doing something like changing a diaper I have to step in and help. Especially with the twins since they are very rough with each other. Tonight at dinner Laurie's boyfriend joined, a father to just Carl, as well as Laurie's father. This wasn't abnormal so I didn't think anything of it, until my sister said she had some exciting news. I wished she'd say something else, but I knew what she was going to say. I'm pregnant, she would say. Everyone went dead silent until I said, bruh. I didn't mean to say it out loud, but come on. Laurie gave me a death stare, and said if I wanted to say something I should just say it. So I did. Laurie, this is your. I take a moment to count, 6th child. You know we can't keep supporting you. Without mom you'd be on the streets, and you know that. Look at mom, she's so tired. She's always taking care of your kids and so am I. I bet I've changed more diapers than you have, you selfish bitch. She began to cry. And ran out into her boyfriend's car. He follows her and drove. My mother then began to cry. She left to go out Carl back to bed since he woke up. It was just me and Laurie's father. He began to yell and told me I was a brat and Laurie was a great mother, then he stormed off. As I'm sitting here in the morning watching the boys, I'm thinking, was I too obnoxious? My mom sees that a lot. I don't mean to be because of my autism but come on. Please give me some feedback. Reddit, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my dad-in-law that she isn't welcome in my home due to her jealousy about me being a housewife? I am a housewife now. I was a stay-at-home mom when my kids were young, and now that everyone is out of the home, I am a housewife. The moment I met Beth, she has had a problem with me. The first time I met her and I told her I am a homemaker, she told me that's not a job and AITA's lazy of me. I met her 30 minutes before that. It comes up all the damn time. They come over for dinner and I mention I am tired and she will tell me I don't work, so how am I tired? I have talked to her and my son before. My husband and I have concluded that she is jealous. It's the only thing that makes sense at this point. I have told her if it happens again I will ask her to leave, and the comments stopped for a bit. They were over for a dinner party and I was talking about how I made the pie for tonight. Beth made a comment that of course I had enough time since it don't work. I had enough and told her I had enough. I get Thather is jealous of me since she has to work, but she needs to get out and she is not welcome back. My son and her called me a jerk for kicking them out. Edit. Not working doesn't equal lazy. I am not loafing around the house all day. I get up, do all the chores, take care of all the paperwork, go for gym, take the dogs out, make homemade meals every day, volunteer and so on. Lazy would be chilling in front of the TV all day, not having the home spotless and having my husband Ave no worries about anything that isn't work related. Am I the asshole for kicking my 72-year-old mother-in-law out of the house at night because she threw away my things? I, 36F, live with my husband, 41 meters. I have a distant relationship with my mother-in-law. Compared to a lot of the horror stories I hear from friends, she's quite sweet and warm. She is, however, a little over-controlling? Overprotective? I'm not sure of the exact word, but she has very strong ideas about things and no sense of boundaries. For example, when she stays at our house she takes over the kitchen completely and insists on cooking all our meals. She cooks wonderfully, but she won't let me help her at all, and puts everything away in the wrong places, and then insists that her way is more logical. She only really comes for holidays, though, and Ida like her a lot. So I don't mind putting up with these mild annoyances. I'm currently pregnant with our little girl, who will be born in a few months. This is a miracle. I really didn't think it would happen, especially so late, but we got lucky. When my mother-in-law heard, she was super excited and said she would come over to help us get ready for the baby. She offered to stay for the next 6 months or so to help out, because my husband and I both work long hours and it will be hard to handle the baby on top of this. She is also pretty emotionally invested in this, because she truly sees herself as part of our family. She arrived a few days ago and set herself up, then she started with the cleaning. I like collecting things from garage sales and such. Things like little sculptures and books and baskets, stuff a lot of people would consider utter junk. Our house is definitely overstuffed, but it's reasonably tidy and doesn't seem like a hoarder's house or anything. My mother-in-law, on the other hand, likes everything surgically clean. Yesterday I came home from work to find the house like a war zone. She went through my cabinets and cleared out everything she considered junk, and had apparently made several trips to Goodwill before I got home. I was really angry and I asked her why she would ever do this. She said the house has to be tidy for the baby, and that it would be dangerous for the baby to be in my cluttered house. Then she took the next huge bag of stuff and tried to walk out the door. I kind of lost it, and I told her she could get out right now. She was shocked that I was serious, and she said she doesn't have anywhere to go and it's so late. It was about 9:30. I booked her a hotel room and called a taxi. My husband came home an hour later, and when I told him what happened, he was furious with me. He says he disrespected his mom and was ungrateful for everything she's trying to do for us. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my sister to stop saying I have pretty privilege and it's her fault she looks ugly? I have a sister who is 25, I will call her Tessa. I am just going to be blunt and say I look better than her. It's due to her not taking care of herself at all. When I was staying active she was not. I spend my money to get skincare and keeping my hair nice. She doesn't dress nicely either. She is always in sweats even going somewhere nice. Overall I just look better than her. She has the money to do these things, she just doesn't. Now every time I see her she will comment something about the way I look. If I tell a story that turns out good for me she will tell me it's because I am pretty and so on. I assume she is jealous and I haven't talked to her about it, but now I just pasted my test to get my license for my job. I was telling the story at dinner and she told me I passed since I was pretty. Makes no sense. I had enough and told her to stop saying I have pretty privilege and that it is her fault that she looks ugly, not mine. She left the table after calling me a cunt and my family is split. Am I the asshole for refusing to be paired up with a Down syndrome kid? I 16-year-old male F and I am in a special class in my high school for special needs students. It's not purely for disabled kids, but mostly for people 16 to 20 who had drug or mental health problems that led them to dropping out of school. There's one kid in the class, Daniel, 17-year-old male, and he has Down syndrome. I have an autoimmune condition that makes me miss a lot of school because I'm in hospital, and I use a cane or a walker. Our class coordinator, Brenda, likes to get us to different activities during the day because our classes are structured differently from the rest of the school. Mostly trying to get us to socialize by doing activities like board games or helping out in the school canteen. Daniel and I are the only two physically disabled students in the class, and because of this, we keep getting paired up. I hate it. He's really rude tone and will do stuff like take my cane and give it to his other friends because he thinks it's funny. I've told Brenda that he won't quit harassing me and I don't want to be left alone with him, but she just tells me I'm being prejudiced against his condition and lying about it because he has Downs and not a mean bone in his body. I'm now refusing to do anything with him and walked out of the kitchen when we were both rostered. Am I the asshole for this? Everyone keeps saying that people with Downs don't know how to be mean, so I don't know if this is actually discriminatory. Am I the asshole for punishing my daughter for not helping us search for my niece? My daughter, 17, and niece, 6, are the only grandkids in our family. My niece was a rainbow baby and the only child in our family. I found out about my daughter when she was 9, so we missed most of her childhood, so naturally she gets a lot of attention. My daughter is clearly jealous of her and has been very mean towards her. A few days ago we all went shopping and my niece went missing in the crowd. Naturally we all panicked and started to search for her while my daughter was on her phone playing. I told her that niece is missing and she said good, I hope she is not found, and went back to her phone, so when we got home I grounded her for a month. She thinks I was the asshole, EDITT, so I'm gonna give you a quick update while I figure out how to deal with her now. I decided to have a conversation with her about her feelings and behavior towards her cousin. We didn't have much of a conversation because she kept crying and screaming at me, listing all the times everyone ignored her or favored my niece. I honestly didn't realize how awful we have been to her. She is my little girl and I never meant to make her feel like this. I'm going to talk to my family and tell them we need to throw her a late birthday party since we had to skip her birthday because my niece was very sick. It will be a day only about her, and from now on we have to be more careful about how we treat her. I don't know what to do other than that, and I probably won't be giving any more updates since I have to go figure out what to do now.